Hey, Kieran, what's up?
Julia, did you hear what they said?
No, what did they say?
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you right now. Meet me in the studio in 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm on my way. I'll see you soon.
Welcome back to That's What They Said, an educationally conversational podcast where we address all the things that aren't in the college brochure.
Oh, hey, guys.
We're so back.
We are so back, and we got new lighting, so go ahead and tell us we look real good.
What's crazy is it looks the same lighting for me, but it looks much different for Julia.
I'm looking, some would say pale, ghostly, vampire-like. Oh, a little update going. Oh, we're not restarting the computer. I can tell you that.
Oh, so you just...
No, I clicked X.
No, babe, the camera, you just...
Did I just move it?
Look at the...
Oh.
Hey, Julia just, in trying to move her mic, knocked the cord from my camera, so it just put me entirely out of frame. It just pushed it all the way to the wall.
Well, let me tell you something. The wires for this camera, that Kieran's camera, are wrapped around my chair, so I can't go anywhere or else it'll move. Because we had some problems with the mic, so we had to move them around, and I don't know what's going on. So
the mic that I usually use sounded like I was on some sort of live wire frequency. Yeah. It looked like I had never left the radio station.
True.
And so it was like, welcome back to the and so I was like, oh, okay, hey. And then on the other microphone, because there's 4 here total, on the second one that wasn't being used, you couldn't hear yourself in it. So I was like, okay, that's really fun. So then I had to move to the 4th one, which is right next to Julia. I'm like a mere 2 feet away from Julia.
But she's like looking at me and I'm looking at the camera. So it's you're getting full side profile here live, which is really interesting. But
I get the view where I'm looking straight at the computer so I can see both how I look and how Julia looks. So I'll be looking like I'm looking in the right direction all of today.
I won't. So. Okay, today I thought it would be silly and goofy and fun if we talked about AI and our thoughts on it, and then how we use it. And then I thought it'd be fun if we both went on ChatGPT or Gemini, trigger warning, and and looked at we're based on our previous episodes, what are some topics that we could talk about, and then we just kind of go back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good one.
Okay, so hit me. Oh wait. We gotta do high-low buffalo.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a whole pre-section we have written down here.
Guys, just moving right through it, you know. Okay, hit me with the high-low buffalo.
Okay, high-low buffalo. Okay, hi. Hey. This is a low to a high. Just follow me.
Find it.
They go on a walk, starting pitch. Getting top notes of. That's one of my new stems recently. I'm
so
getting top notes of.
Stench.
I'm getting odor. It's been really getting me recently. Anyhow, what was I gonna say? Oh yes. So the past couple weeks have been ungodly busy. I was showing my Google Calendar to someone the other day for last week. Part of conversation, I don't even know if you can see it in the
You and you're showing everyone where you'll be for the entire week.
That was last week, so it's fine. This is where I was last week. It's my social security number in the top right corner.
Hey guys, just want to show you, just want to be very transparent with you.
Yeah, I just really wanted to make this an open and equal line of communication that we have going. No, but that was my week last week, and for those who are not watching, it's blocked in 4 different colors every day from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. I had 3 exams last week, and class registration, and this, and also that, and then some of that.
Oh, we should also talk about class registration.
Oh, yes, we can touch on that.
And we can talk about what classes we're taking.
Anyhow, so to start off, going back to the high, it's just been really busy the last couple weeks, and this week, for the first time in genuinely a month, not only do I not have plans at all this weekend, the full 3 days are open. I mean, Friday afternoon through Saturday and Sunday, completely wide open. I only have 8 homework assignments for this whole week. Usually, I have 20. I was letting you get through the 20.
Yeah.
And I also don't have any plans after the gym this week. So I'm actually gonna be going back. I haven't gone to the gym in 2 weeks because I've just been so busy with things that there's been no time outside of 9 p.m. And by 9 p.m., babe, I'm in bed. I am head to pillow catching disease. We are not. Yeah, bed bugs are not biting because I am snug as a bug in a damn rug. I can say that word, right?
Yeah.
Sick.
Stink.
Yeah, so that's my high. My low is that the exams have low-key been getting to me. Yeah, that was a good eye representation. I also do that a lot.
True.
Where I do for those who are not watching, the hands around the neck and I rock back and forth. It's just the exams
It was like low-key the last round was a bad.
It was
bad.
rough.
It was a tough one.
It was rough.
But it's always like the ones right before finals that are like not great.
Well, I think it's just for my classes, somehow they all work the same way. I only have 3 exams, the last one being the final. So I have 1 exam, and the first exam is always the worst because like you either do well or you don't. Like you usually don't really fall in the middle, or if you do, it's on the lower end of the middle because you like don't really know what to expect. Then there's the second exam, which in theory you should be doing well by that point, but also it's been like over a month between the last time you took the exam to this one, so then I didn't do that great on all of I passed all of them. I passed all of them, I think. I passed all of them. Did I get A's on all of them? No. Did I get B's on all of them? No.
But you passed.
But I passed, and I'm still passing all of the classes, and I think I still have B's or higher in all the classes. So Me. So anyways, yeah, that's my low. They've been getting to me, but I don't have any more exams until finals, so the next like 2 weeks I don't have exams, and I'm very excited about that. My Buffalo. Oh, I recently rediscovered $5 Pazookies at BJ's, the restaurant. Have you ever been to BJ's? Have you ever heard of her?
No.
There's like the warehouse, and then there's the restaurant. There's one that's like right next to my apartment. And do you know what a Pazookie is?
No.
It's a giant cookie with ice cream on top. And they bake, like it's a skillet, like a little tiny, like usually it's
skillet.
It's a little tiny skillet, big old cookie in it, and you slap some scoops of ice cream on top.
I like how we're pointing with we're just like a big old.
That's how I do. I recently realized that I do this where I use my thumb when I'm showing like the radius or the circumference or like the circle of something. Instead of using any specific fingers, I always use my thumb and my middle fingers.
Big old. Like...
I think it's because it's my longest finger, so I can like cover the most distance.
Yeah. Yep.
With.
Okay, glitching.
I can cover the most distance, but I also always have the pointer finger on top, so it looks like I'm kind of coming at you really hastily with a finger gun, but it's okay. Anyhow, so I recently rediscovered them. And so I'm now making it a mission on Tuesdays to find my way to the BJ's to get a Pazookie.
That sounds busting.
So where will I be on Tuesday? You can probably find me at the BJ's.
Little BJ moment.
You know me?
Big BJ fan.
Big BJ's fan.
Yeah.
Love the restaurant. Hey, so I'm being pushed up.
I'm sorry.
Again.
I like.
You're good.
Oh.
So that's the wrong way. There you go. Yep. Bring it back. And I come right back.
Find it. Well.
Okay, go ahead.
Going in with I'll start with low so we can end on a high, you know?
Yeah.
I'm tired of doing classes.
Yeah. We've reached a point.
Yeah, it's like
both of us.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the bags under my eyes, but those are there. And I can tell you right now, I'm not giving my best in any of my classes except my people analytics class because I love that class. But other than that, no, I'm just trying to get through it.
Oh my gosh, found out the ancillary is not due till tomorrow, so you can still do it. I
did see that,
and it's only 10 minutes. Like you only have to watch it 10 minutes.
I can do it.
So
yeah, just kind of working through that, and yeah, so I'm tired of classes. I'll do my high. I have 2.
Okay.
So first of all, I have, praise be, secured an internship for the summer.
Yay!
God is good.
Oh, yay! I was like up here.
Yeah. God is good. You know, like the sun is shining, the tank is clean. Like an internship has been secured.
The tank is clean.
And I will be living with my aunt and uncle. For the summer, which I'm excited about.
Yay.
It's gonna be a good old time. My other high is I have met a young gentleman.
Oh,
and I really like him.
Yeah,
and I'm just overwhelmed. Oh, the sun is shining. The tank is clean. That's me right now.
I saw the photo that went with it. And I was like, that's low-key Julia right now.
Yes, that's me right now.
It's the quote, "Today's the day, the sun is shining, the tank is clean," is from Finding Nemo, and it's when they're at the little tank with all the fish
in like the doctor's office.
And the dentist or whatever it is.
Yep.
And it's the starfish that's like,
it's Peach. That's Peach.
And it's all like pink and smiley.
Stinking smiley.
So anyways, tell us about your young gentleman.
I really like him. And we hung out yesterday for a long time, and it was
Yeah.
really good. And he lives a little bit far away.
Like a little bit like 15, a little bit like an hour.
No, he lives in Benson.
Okay, Benson Boone.
It's Benson Boone, actually.
Yeah,
You
it
guessed
is.
it. You guessed it.
Moonbeam ice cream. He's
He
mystical,
taught
magical.
me how to do a flip, actually.
Yeah,
so
yeah. A little bonding activity.
Yes. First date.
Yeah.
Flips.
You know where it is.
You know how it be.
Yeah.
But no, I really like him, and he's really sweet. When you interrupt me when I'm talking about my young gentleman.
30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah. But then there's like traffic and stuff, and I'm like, I feel bad that he has to drive, but he says he doesn't mind. So he's coming back on Thursday. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Counting down the seconds. Let me tell you something. But he's really cute, and I really like him. So stay tuned. Anyway, my barflar is. Oh, I would like to talk about the craft that I made.
Okay.
It would be the cat. And I've been working on yours. So it's gonna go ahead and be a sewing project. So picture this: I cut out the shape of like 2 triangles on like kind of like a circle situation, and then I cut out really long rectangles of fabric,
like 4 feet long,
very long,
maybe 3.
Maybe 2 inches. You never know. And
beggars can't be choosers.
Right. All bodies come in different shapes and sizes. Like we accept everyone here. Like it's all okay.
Yes.
Anyway, so then I sew them and I turn it all inside out, and then I put it all together, and it's a cat with extremely long legs. And I go ahead and I sew beads on the end of its feet and its hands because it's little toe beans. And then it has a little button nose and little button eyes, and I embroidered them out. It's so cute, and I really like it, and it's really fun to make. I was telling this young gentleman it would have taken me an hour had I had my sewing machine, but instead it took me like 4 days because I made it for him, which is like, guys, I'm a simp. Save me! But it turned out really cute, and I'm making one for Kieran, and then I'm making one for myself.
Yay!
And it's gonna be a really good time. And that's my buffalo.
Wow.
In terms of the meat of the pod.
Yeah, that is gonna be the
right.
Yeah, like the substance. I haven't ever seen that movie, but
the substance. I mean, neither.
I haven't seen it.
We watched The Walking Dead yesterday, and I was scared.
Oh, how was that?
It was really scary.
My great aunt loves that series.
I love that girl.
Hey, Annette.
Yeah, I love that girl.
She doesn't listen to the pod, but
I just really need to put my leg up like this.
put your leg up, girl.
I just gotta get.
Would love if I could be a little more. Yep. Oh, a little too much. Bring it in. There you go. Oh, not that one. Not it. Hey, canceled. If you just hear us not speaking, we go left, right, a little more back. And we're going up. Oh my gosh. Speaking of movies, I watched Peter Rabbit yesterday for Easter. I love that movie, and I forgot how much I love that movie.
I have never seen it.
It's so funny. It's so good. I love it. It's literally meant for children. Speaking of which, there's this other movie coming out called Sheep Detective.
Oh, your grandma was telling us about that. It sounds so cute.
It sounds so good. For those who have not heard of it yet, it's about this. It's Hugh Jackman. I kept calling him Jack Human earlier when I was trying
Jack
to
Human.
I was trying to explain it to my
Jackman.
friend, and I was like, Jack Human. I mean, Huge Jackman. I was like, wait,
Huge Jackman.
Hugh Jackman plays this like shepherd, and it's just like him and his like flock of sheep. They just hang out, and every night before bed, he reads them a murder mystery. What he doesn't realize is that the sheep like understand him and can talk.
True.
But they like keep it on the DL. And then one night he dies, and then the sheep are like, "Oh shoot!" And then they're like, "We're gonna solve his like we know all about this. We've been learning about this for weeks, for years now. Like we got it." And then the sheep go and try and solve because they're like, "I think he was murdered. Like I don't think he like died of natural causes." So they go on this journey to solve his murder and like prove that someone's guilty.
And they're really cute.
Yeah,
I love sheep.
So I'm very excited about that. Comes out on the Friday Mother's Day weekend. So if you see me in the theaters, no, you don't.
You know why.
Anyhow.
Anyway.
Back to why we're here this week.
Speak to me on your, like, about your thoughts on AI.
Yes. Okay. I like.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
I kind of think that I feel the same way. I feel that way too. Let it out.
A stretch and yawn really just hit me.
Big stretch.
Big stretch. I think I have pretty like universally agreed upon views of AI. I think AI can be good, and I think in general, I like what AI offers, and it obviously makes a lot of processes easier and less time consuming.
True.
And a lot of ways can be very efficient in terms of,
True.
at the minimum, business
True.
functions. Like, not even just like being a business major, but just like doing simple things like, I need a list of this. Can you just organize it like this? Like, it cuts back and it saves a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it helps with aiding the flow of other things. I do think people overuse it, and I think it's getting, like, a lot of people are taking abuse of it, especially towards like their schoolwork. But I also am a big believer that the school system is corrupt, and that it's more about being able to regurgitate information than it is about learning it. The public school system, anyhow.
Yes.
I think that's what I've always really respected about the charter school and like the magnet school system is like, my brothers went to charter/magnet school. I think it was a charter school for middle school and elementary school, and they were so like hands-on. Like, it was all about the fact that you were able to learn things and apply it in the real world. And so, for example, if they were learning about the process of like chocolate making, instead of just like reading a PowerPoint presentation, it was they would go to a chocolate making factory in Raleigh and go make a bar of chocolate. Like, that was what they did. And so it was like,
is it the Videri chocolate factory?
Probably. I don't know.
So cute in there.
But like they just applied everything they were doing, or if they were talking about like the environmental science, like earth systems, they would go and like look at a creek. Like, they would go and they'd be like, okay, so these animals here and these are how this works, and now draw a picture. Like so it's just like, it's more like learning things and being able to see it versus just like, here's a flower. Yeah. Here's a bullet point. Here's a bullet point. Here's a bullet point. Okay.
And that's it.
Repeat it back to me. Like, you know. And so I think people are using AI to aid in their schoolwork, but like, I understand why they do it. Like, and I think if the school system wasn't built the way it was, then having AI to cheat wouldn't work.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I agree.
So I try, honestly, my absolute hardest not to use AI. Like, I really do try to do my schoolwork based upon what I can do, especially because with exams, people like the professors have caught on, so they've cracked down so hard on all of our exams that like, there's no way you're getting AI in there. But like, when you're in the Delta Testing Center, it's like war. It's like, you know, like in the apocalypse movies when they're like trying to weed out like the dumber civilizations, so you have to like take a test on like
that's what it's like.
What like 1 + 1 is, and it's like in a really dark room and someone's standing there at the door with like a gun, and like
it's terrifying.
And it's like a moody lighting. Like, that's how it is in the Delta Testing Center.
It is.
Like, they literally like put in your phone and watches into the locking mechanism. You can get one pencil and one pencil only. You will be assigned to room D42. Do not make me repeat it. Go sit down. Don't look. Don't breathe. Don't turn around. Don't swallow.
The last exam we took, we were in the same room, and like, I was in there first, and I saw her walk in, and we like, I like looked, and like, I was like. Like, I
turned my head too far.
We like didn't make any expression at each other. I was just like,
we both just looked at each other, because it was also I don't think that was for law. I think that was for the
340.
340, yeah. But anyhow, so all of it to say, that was kind of a long tangent, is I appreciate AI for what it is, but I do think that it's being taken advantage of. But I also think that the whole conversation about people using it to cheat for schoolwork is because that's the only way to, like, it's the most time efficient way. I don't know.
I agree. I think, like, in terms of business, I agree AI is very helpful. I think specifically coded AI is more helpful, not like a business just typing stuff into ChatGPT, because that is not, because that's giving away confidential information that you don't want to do. And like, that's not, and ChatGPT is not great. Don't do it, girl. But I think like software that is made specifically for like, if you're in marketing, like marketing stuff, and like, you have like a contract with a company that's like, they can't like sell your information or like all that. Like, if it's specifically coded for you and for what you need to get done, then it's good because you can trust it more as long as you have somebody checking over it. But I also think AI is very helpful when I'm like doing marketing stuff or like creating graphics or like posting on Instagram, because I can ask like what hashtags would best like suit this and like find like the right audience and get the most engagement, and like what caption would grab the most attention, and like how long should I make this video, and like how often do I, like, it's like very good at like looking at the analytics that I give it and then being like, okay, well, based on this, here's like when you should post, and like the hashtags you should use and the captions you should use, and like what seems to be performing the best, and like all that stuff. So it's very helpful in that way. And I do agree that if the school system worked in a better way, in a more efficient way, then there wouldn't be a way to use AI in it. Like, if we were doing more projects and stuff like that, like, you actually have to use your brain, which is how I learn a lot better than like like I think everybody learns a lot better when they're just like doing something, you know.
No, I agree.
Because you have to know how to do it.
I agree.
So like why are we just reading something? Because that's like a waste of time, a waste of money, and like a waste of like talent in like students, you know. But also there are some like tasks that are just like, this is like
busy work.
I'm like, if you're not even gonna look at it, then why would I spend time on it?
Well, and I think the other thing too for me is that if I'm able to access it to do my schoolwork, I'll be able to access it when I'm doing the job as well.
True.
Like specifically coming from someone who does work in the same, like I have a job in the same thing that I'm majoring in, I can see like the times when my schoolwork and my classwork and also my job, or like the work that I have at my job, all overlap.
Mm-hmm.
And AI is always present. Like I can, if I wanted to at any singular point, pull up AI and just ask it to do the thing, or ask it to make a report, or ask it, like, you know, like, not that I do that. I'm just saying, like, it's there. So at that point, why am I learning it in class the hard way if in the real world I could just do the same thing? And I get it's like the principle, and also like AI couldn't be here forever, so like it could whatever in the future, and then all of a sudden we don't have access to it anymore. But it's just, I think my professor just canceled class for today. Yay! Sorry.
God is good.
I just got a Moodle alert that said no class.
Oh.
So I'm.
Wait, did you think it was a little silly when I said hoppy eater yesterday?
I think it auto corrected to Easter.
Oh, I thought it was kind of funny when I said hoppy eater, but that's okay.
Oh wait, you did say hoppy eater.
I told you, and I typed that out, and I made sure it was correct in hoppy eater, and I said, silly.
I sent this to Julia, which didn't get any laughs from it, and I thought it was funny.
Well, I did laugh. I didn't type out my laugh. But you said me because he is risen. Me when I'm pole dancing because he is risen.
It's a gif of a bunny like pole dancing, but it's like a cute little illustrated version of it, and I put me because he's risen.
Me because he's. Oh my god! I just thought of a low that I should have shared that I've just remembered.
Okay,
I can't believe I had forgotten about it. Picture this. Yes. Picturing this. It is Saturday night. I have picked up Josa. Well, actually, we hung out with the cats for a while and played Mario Kart, and then I picked up Josa, and then we went dancing. Picture this. I see, my friend, who like low-key play too much, but like nah, like it's not like that. And they like wave at me, and I'm like, hey, like blah, blah, blah. And then whatever, and then because they didn't know I was gonna be there. Sorry, the camera moved. And then I was dancing, and then like in the middle of the dance, they like waved and smiled at me again. Oh, what just happened?
I'm trying to figure out if I don't have class today.
Wait, I can't. Okay, my thing unplugged. And
so maybe I do have class. It's just an alert that went out that says no class on April 1st.
So that already happened. April 1st already happened.
It says no class on April 1st. When today at 10:15. The default was 1 hour. Okay, so I do have class today.
Oh, I'm sorry. But
sorry.
They waved at me and like was walking low-key towards me, like they were gonna like come say hi in the middle of the dance. And I was like, well, that's kind of crazy. And so then I like waved at them, and I was like about to walk in their direction. Turns out they were waving at somebody behind me.
Oh.
And it was really, really, I can't. I'm sorry. Like you'll never see me again. And that's just my truth. I will never recover. But anyway.
Awkward.
So
hate that.
What were we talking about?
AI.
AI, right. Yeah, it's like, it's also helpful when like we're sending, so we do sales, and like that's part of our job, and it's helpful when I'm like, okay, what subject lines will not get tagged as ads or like sales and get sent to spam, or like which ones have a higher chance of getting opened, like based on like the ones that I've sent. And like it's also helpful rewriting emails, because I'm like, can you make this clearer? Because like some clients, like you need to be very clear and very like strict with what you say, so like that's helpful.
I do like that. Well, I think what's also nice too, especially in the world of marketing, is like you can get all this information without having to pay to look at the website, which was a thing that was really big before AI. Is every time you needed information on something, or like when you were trying to look for specific statistics or access a certain like generator or whatever, you had to like either create an account or pay to use the website, or you only can look at one piece of information before your trial is up.
Yeah.
Where even with like, obviously it's free to have a ChatGPT or a Gemini account, and then you can also make one for free. Like you can not have one or have one for free. You don't have to do any of that. Like you can paste it, you can copy it, you can take a screenshot of it, you can make it put in images, you can put images in it, like all for free, and you don't have to like, which is really nice. Oh, I just disconnected myself from the headphone jack.
What is also nice is like on Gemini you can create like gyms, which is well, my fingers look silly in the camera.
Little bunny foo-foo walking through the forest.
You can create gyms, which is where you can kind of like input specific parameters and like documents and all this stuff, and then every time that you go into that gym and like type in something, it only uses the parameters and the information that you already put in it. So if like you're working on the same project for like months at a time, you can create one gym with all the information in it, and then you don't like Gemini like keeps all that information together. It's really helpful. It's really helpful, and it's like really cool, and it's like I think it's fun to like figure out how I can use AI, but also it is scary, and also it's ruining the environment, which is something that I have a really hard time with.
Do you think it'll take over all the jobs in the world?
I don't think it will take over all the jobs. I think it does increase the level of like education and technical skills you have to enter into the workforce, which is a problem because
it already was high as it was.
Right. And now it it takes away a lot of like entry level jobs that people need in order to work up to like a long-term like career job, and I think that's the problem. Like the barriers to entry are getting harder and harder as you go, which is like also it's like when internships are like you have to have 5 years of experience, and I'm like, so you're an internship, that's where I'm supposed to get experience. Thank you though.
And it's also not paid,
right? So tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, so I don't know, I don't think it's gonna take over all the jobs. Like I think there's always gonna be some things that like it can't do, like obviously this is like everybody says that like there's like the human relationship related jobs are like it can't take that over, and like it just AI can never like understand like emotions, which are okay, this is like such a nerd thing to talk about, but like the role that like psychology and emotions plays in like marketing is something that AI could never understand, and like that's like why you need people, is because anyway, whatever. So yes, and that's what I always say. And that's what I always say. But I kind of want to type things into the AI and see what it says. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Do you want to be Gemini or ChatGPT?
I'll be Gemini because I already have it pulled up.
All right.
From when I was using it.
I have not looked at chat in a long time.
I honestly am a big Gemini stan. I kind of like it better than ChatGPT, and I'm sorry.
I know, and I agree. I use Gemini if I ever have to use. Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Based on the podcast, I'm gonna do it based on our podcast. Wait, should we type in like the exact same?
Yeah. Based on our podcast, that's what. Oh wait.
I'm putting it in quotes.
That's what they said with WKNC 88.1. What are some topics we could talk about, or questions we could discuss? ? We are filming right now. I like to talk to it like it's like a... Do you have it typed up?
Yep.
Okay. Click.
Okay.
Nice.
Since you're filming right now, let's lean into the unfiltered campus reality vibe. That's what they said on 88.1. So great. You guys are the masters of high-low Buffalo segment and the late night thoughts nobody puts in the brochure.
Oh my God.
Here are fresh angles and questions tailored to your style.
Okay, here's what mine says. Nice. Live brainstorming mode. I'll keep this quick, flexible, and conversational so you can pull from it on air. Since you're on That's What They Said with WKNC 88.1, lean into topics that feel current, personal, and a little unpredictable. And then it has like different, the first one is easy engaging topics, which is like what's overhyped right now, what's actually underrated, something you believed as a kid that was totally wrong. And then it has good discussion, deeper conversation, how college expectations versus reality hit different. Okay, so that's all we ever talk about. Burnout and productivity culture, friendships in your 20s, harder than dating. Yes, we already talked about that. Fun chaotic segments. Hear me out. Smash or pass.
We can do a hear me out. I do like a hear me out.
I do enjoy hear me out.
Mine are the real world realization. Since you've recently discussed you're moving too fast, dive into the specifics of the post-grad panic, such as the work-life balance myth. The second one is the digital lore of social media. You've touched on influencers before. Take it a step further into the digital footprint versus digital identity.
Ooh, true.
So, like, why do we feel more comfortable sharing our deepest breakdowns with 15 people in a private story than our actual roommates?
True.
The third one is campus myths versus reality, the brochure versus the basement, is what it's called.
Okay.
What is the biggest lie that the NC State brochure told us? Example, that we'd all be sitting on the court of North Carolina studying productively every day.
With our perfectly diverse friend groups, obviously.
Right. The fourth is niche relationship tropes. You guys killed it with the Valentine's dating philosophies episode. Let's get specific about current trends. If you had to give a performance review to your last situationship, what would the areas of improvement be? Why is cuffing season becoming a year-round phenomenon?
Girl, don't get me started.
And the last one is quick fire, high-low buffalo, right now.
Right now.
Pro tip for the mic, if the energy is dipping, do a hot take lightning round. One person says a campus staple, and the other has 5 seconds to give a controversial opinion on it.
That's kind of fun. Okay.
Oh my god, it says good luck with recording, break a leg, Julia and Kieran.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Give me a oh, I keep unplugging my mic. Give me like a top, like a campus thing, and I'll give you my hot take on it.
The bell tower.
I think that, I mean, it's like a cute little like logo thing, but I think that it's like kind of, I think there are other like symbols of NC State that are more like NC State than the bell tower. Like the bell tower is like, they're like, we just need one really tall thing that can be like our thing. But it's like, guys.
It's kind of like how Big Ben in London is like, Big Ben, but like no one goes to Big Ben. Like you look at it and that's about it. Like you don't do anything with it. And it's like NC State has the bell tower, but we don't do anything with it.
Right.
We just like, it's there. It's
Light it red, yo.
Like they don't do anything with it.
Well, I saw a reel of this couple that they were Mr. and Mrs. Wolf, but like, and they started dating while they were being Mr. and Mrs. Wolf. Like they wore the like mascot costumes, but he proposed to her at the bell tower, and I was like, that's another level of NC State that I will never ever reach.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Nope. Okay, give me one.
Loki, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be. Wait, okay, I'm trying really hard.
The examples it gives are Tally, 8 a.m. labs, free expression tunnel.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on the tunnels?
Like all of the tunnels?
Mm-hmm.
They flood really easily.
Oh, yes.
No one tells you this, by the way, when you come to state, is the tunnels will get feet of water in them.
Get you a pair of rain boots, girl. You're gonna need them.
I genuinely don't understand, like land-wise, geography-wise, how it works. I mean, like I do, like things that are pointed downwards, it goes down. Right, anyways, but somehow they built those tunnels for nothing but swimming, because the second it rains, like I have watched people like knee-high water, like they were sliding across the hand railings that go through the middle of it, but they don't go all the way. There's like a 2-foot gap. You gotta jump. Or like 3-foot gap in between. So people were literally hopping the handrails or like holding their projects up like above their head and like wading through the water. So that's a thing. In terms of the tunnels, I think we should have more of them. I think that they're like, I mean, they're like doing so much construction on campus, which is another thing about NC State. Never-ending construction. There's always construction somewhere at all times, and it's only in the most, like, they're doing one right now that's near the library / near Dabney, and those are two places that if you want to walk onto like that half of campus across, like you have to go to a tunnel. Right. But they're doing constructions on both ends.
It's so annoying.
Like, what?
It is so annoying, because then you have to go like all the way around, and like and then it's like, okay, you could just create like one little sidewalk and that'd be really helpful, but like
it turns like a 30-second walk into a 2.5-minute walk, which again isn't a very long time,
but it feels like a long time.
Is like quintuple the amount of time that it would have taken me originally. If
percentage-wise, that's a big increase. You have
to adjust when you'll leave and like whatever.
Yeah, it's annoying.
To walk, but because it's the only way to get through, there's also a bajillion more people because now instead of having 3 ways you could get to your class, you have 1. And so now you're in traffic, but it's walking.
And also I feel bad because a lot of the freshmen's classes are in like Dabney and then I feel bad that like when they first got to campus they have to like navigate the freaking construction that changes the sidewalks every 3 days. So like poor little guys, little babies.
Wait, I have a couple. Wait, now that I like my gears are turning.
Yeah.
One thing about Tally is there's not enough seating on this campus. I mean, on this campus and also in Tally. Tally is supposed to be like. Well, my other thing too is why is it called? There's Tally Student Union and then Witherspoon Student Center.
I get them mixed up all the time.
The Student Center does nothing for the students. Like, there's no thing here except for like our office is here, but that's not for like the general public. That's only for people who Well, it's like open to anyone, but like no one utilizes it except for the people who work here.
Because they don't know it exists because there's nothing like here.
There's nothing here. There's like a one lecture thing, and then there's like the Veteran Center, the African American Cultural Center.
And then there's like that gallery down there.
And there's the gallery. But those are all like, not like niche, but it's like you only go to those places if you have a reason to. It's not like Tally where you're just supposed to like go and like sit and like be a student.
Like hang out
and vibe. Like, so I don't know why we call Witherspoon Student Center a student center if there's nothing. I have so many thoughts and feelings about how NC State incorporates student life on campus, but they do not matter. But yeah, I think Tally for like 2 weeks had a bunch of extra tables and chairs everywhere.
Bring that back. Because I can tell you they were all full too.
Every single one was just, they had extra spinny chairs, extra whatever. They need to be bringing what they did to Centennial over to main campus. Yes. It's so much nicer over there, and I would go there all the time if there wasn't no parking.
True.
Why is there nowhere to park on Centennial campus for free?
And let me tell you something. Something else that Tally needs is more outlets.
Yeah, they do. Half of them don't work.
Right. And also I have to go like searching for an outlet. Like I don't know. I just feel like if you have the amount of tables that you have, then you need to have outlets or at least like extension cords or like one of those like
the blocks
the
of
strips. Yeah. Like the power strips, because everybody has a computer. Like everyone has one. So
you
like
have to.
You must have one. And like, how are you not going to have outlets when you're like an engineering computer science school? Like, what do you mean?
How are we going to be a STEM school and it's working so dysfunctional?
Right. And that's another thing about the tunnels is how are you going to have tunnels that flood when you're in engineering school? Now,
I asked that same question.
It's a little bit like, guys, come on. Like, I don't know. Like, I personally am not an engineering student, so I cannot speak on the topic, but I feel like maybe another drain would be nice.
Like one.
Like there's only one in the middle of the tunnel, and so that's why it takes forever to drain. And it also gets clogged because there's only one, and there's freaking like
everything.
Like leaves and stuff that get in there. And
me when leaves and stuff.
I was trying not to say bad word. I'm sorry.
My other thing, this is like more of just like not about the tunnels, but in general, is I'm low-key not a big fan of the brick. Cancel me. I think it's fine. It's just that there's so much of it. Every single building looks the same, but it doesn't look cool. Like it doesn't look like cool the same. It just looks the same.
It would look. I think the brick could be slay if there were more trees. Like if you know, like how UNC does low-key have a lot of brick, but they have a lot of beautiful trees and
they do.
Landscaping and like green space. I think that, but also I think that the like so many people hate on NC State because of the brick, and it's just like, okay, that's just like a stereotype, or not, you know what I'm saying? Like they like want to pick something that like to hate on NC State about, and they're like the brick. But like which is like.
But also, I kind of agree with them sometimes.
I agree that there's a lot of brick. That is a true
statement.
The
yellow brick road, but it's red brick. Whole road is brick.
I agree that there is a lot of brick, but also it's really not like it just needs more trees, like to break up the brick.
Yeah, it's not. That's a good point. Like it's not necessarily a bad amount of brick. It's just there's nothing to distinguish it or accentuate it. There's nothing accentuating. Oh my god. There's nothing
accentuating.
Accentuating.
Maybe they're sexualizing the brick. I am brick sexual. I am coming out today. Today is the day.
The tank's clean. The bricks are sexy.
They are so sexy.
Wait, accentuated.
Accentuated. I like accentuate something. Nasty over here, can't speak.
Accentuating?
Yes.
There it is. I just had a stroke. Accentuating? Jesus. There's nothing accentuate.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing accentuating the brick.
Mm-hmm.
Can we move on to notes up?
Yes, we can, actually. Let's see.
I need to move away from this topic.
Let's see what we have in our notes up.
Shout out ChatGPT and Gemini, though, for giving us this.
Let's see. What do I have to do? Oh my god. Here's a notes app that I've been wanting to talk about for weeks because I just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Okay.
Have you seen those like blind date photo shoots where it's like it's a usually a man and a woman. Canceled.
You.
Those woke liberals are like just so
okay, let's
guys, please, I'm woke. Anyway, so it's usually like a guy and a girl and they have blindfolds on and they've never met each other. And then the date is like a photo shoot and it's like a photo shoot for the photographer to like get more like content for their portfolio or whatever.
Yeah.
So then the people like take off their blindfold and they're like, and they have to do like all these prompts or like hold hands or like kiss or like do all that stuff.
Right.
And so it's like a date for them, but it's like a photo shoot for the photographer, right. But then they like also video it so they can post to the video, whatever. So
right. Multifaceted, yes.
Right. But I was like, what if you did a blind date photo shoot, but the photographer was just really bad? So it was like they like sit all the photos, but it was just like an iPhone like
it's like a 13-year-old who
yeah.
discovered Snapchat filters for the first time.
And I thought that was actually the funniest thing that I've ever come up with. But I thought it would be fun to do that.
Okay.
So we're just like, I think we could like hang up.
We go on a blind date or like...
it's us on a blind date with each other.
Yeah, we come out.
I've never met you before in my life. No. But like, wouldn't it be funny if you like hung up flyers on campus and you're like looking for like a couple or like two people who are interested, and then it's just like really bad. I just think that'd be really funny.
No, I think so. Or you gotta prank them and be like, "That's what we got."
Good job, everyone. Yeah, I thought that would be funny. Anyway,
that is funny. Let's see.
I'll keep looking and see what else.
Oh, wide mozzarella sticks are better than the skinny rod ones.
Wait, say that again.
Wide mozzarella sticks are better than the skinny rod ones.
What are the like wide like rectangle ones?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the cheese pool is definitely better.
The cheese pool's better.
The cheese pool at Sonic the other day was not pulling.
It was not.
And it was not cheesing.
Took Julia to the Sonic for the first time at Apex, and this really made me laugh because she goes, "Is this what you guys do in Apex?" And I go, "Yep."
Because it was her and Ian was driving, and I was sitting in the back seat, and I was like, they feel very comfortable here. I feel like this is what they do. And I was like, so like. They're like, oh, look, our spot is still open at the Sonic. And I was like, oh, that is ludicrous. And then they were like, they already do their order. They're like, you're getting like the usual. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what are we doing? And then I was like, so this is what you guys do? And they're like, yeah. And then on the way back, they're like, Kieran was like, yeah, we only play white girl music. Like, and I was like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah.
In Apex, there's not a lot to do, especially growing up. They like just recently have started like making it
slay
modernized, but even then, like the things to do in Apex, there is a very short list that I could name it all, and most of it is just like going to sit somewhere or running a target. And so we did not discover the Sonic until last year.
Wow.
But last spring, probably last spring or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like 10 minutes from, depending on whose house we're going from. It's like 10 to 15 minutes away. And so we would just every like couple of days at like 9 p.m. we'd be like, do you guys want to go to Sonic? And we'd be like, okay. And we would go get milkshakes, or we'd go get we never get like food. We always get like a drink or mozzarella sticks and a cherry limeade or so.
Well, okay, what was slaying me is that picture this Saturday, Easter brunch, we have eaten so much food.
Yep.
And then about 2 hours later, Ian sits up and says, you guys want to go to Sonic? And then we were all like, well, we just ate. And he's like, he kept bringing it up every 15 minutes. And then eventually people were like, well, it's time for me to go. And then he's like, do you guys want to go to Sonic? And then we were like, let's go to Sonic. So then we went. And he was very happy to go his widow mozzarella stick.
Well, my favorite part is he was gonna go whether or not we went with him.
Right. He just thought he'd throw out that invitation.
Yeah, that's kind of what we just do that every single break, or like even we're having a sleepover or there's like a planned funk, the plan after that is to then
What's
go to the
funk?
Sonic. Like the funk being,
where the funk at?
Where the funk at? The plan funk being to go to someone's house and eat pizza. The follow-up part of the plan is to then go to the Sonic later. And that Sonic's open till midnight. So, because then usually what we do is after that we go on a long drive and we scream music and we just like drive around. And usually
music. Then we scream music. Music.
Well, I can tell you where we drive to because we go on the same exact route. We drive down 64 until the Hardee's and then you turn around.
Right, of course. The Hardee's. Once you get past the Hardee's, it's scary out there
because it's on the way down to Jordan Lake. So sometimes we'll drive to Jordan Lake, but usually we go to the Hardee's and then we turn around. But anyways, all I have to say is that the rectangle mozzarella sticks. I also can't say that word.
Rectangle.
The rectangle mozzarella sticks are better than the skinny one.
Mozzarella sticks.
I can't
Me
say
when
that
Ella
word.
is a monster. The mozzarella sticks are just. You're
Guys,
nasty.
I can't say mozzarella, and I will not be. I will not be shamed for it.
Oh.
I also can't say gymnastics, but we know this.
Gymnastics.
I say gymnastic, mozzarella stick, ketchup. It's just how we are. What else do I have? I wrote multiple bullet points for this one. I'm angry about the fact that there isn't a lot of wordplay with my name.
Okay.
First off, never finding a keychain. Anything with my name on it, for that matter. I've never found anything with my name on it before. I hated the icebreaker in like elementary, middle school where you needed to introduce.
What is going on with you? And what do we do? And it's breaking up, and I can't hear. And what do we?
I don't know what is going on. I cannot speak. Introducing yourself with an adjective that starts with the same letter as your name. I can only think of so many for K. And it was always kind Kieran.
Ow.
Or like kangaroo. Or like karate. Like, be so for real.
Nice Kieran.
Like.
No Kieran.
Like.
Knowledgeable Kieran.
Like. Knowing Kieran. Like.
That is funny.
But it's also all silent K's. Except for kind and like kangaroo. Like.
Wait,
Kit
okay.
Kat.
Wait.
Like. The list, I just like hate it because everybody was like, amazing Amy, or like
start with K. Let's see. Keen Kieran. Killer Kieran.
Yeah.
Kooky Kieran. Klutzy Kieran.
What?
Kaleidoscope Kieran. Kinetic Kieran.
That's what I'm saying. Because like my options. That's why my nicknames growing up, like when people were like, you're like you have to pick a name, but it has to be something with the first letter of your name.
Knockout Kieran.
Oh wow. I was always Kiwi or Kit Kat, and then the fun one that we came up in middle school was ketamine.
Ketamine Kieran.
Well, I wasn't ketamine Kieran. I was just ketamine. Like that was just that. Like that's
Wait,
ketamine over there. Like that was me.
Nicknames for Kieran.
That was the other thing too, is like I have a lot of nicknames, but none of them they're either just my name but shorter and something else added on to it.
Kier, Key, K, Kiki, K-Dog, K-Rock, K-Smooth, K-Money, K-Blaze, Kieran the Conqueror,
Kieran the Conqueror,
Kirasaurus, Sir Kieran,
Sir
Kieran vibes.
Would hate for that to be a name. My nicknames, yeah, they're either like part of my name with something random attached to it or just something completely different. It's not like a shorter version or anything like that. Like, although I do have Kiki. My nickname is Kiki or Keeks. And I'm Mama Kiki or Mama Keeks.
I just looked up nicknames for me. Jules, Ju, Jay, Leah. From the end of my name. Julesy, Lulu.
Juju.
I do, yeah.
I like
Big Jewel. If anyone ever calls me that, I'm coming after you, and I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I will get you.
It's okay. Some of my friends have started referring to me as the woman with mass after that. Like,
yeah.
And I was like,
well, Cleo calls me Big Jew.
Big Jew.
And I just, you know.
I do like saying Juju on that beat every now and then.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody called me. Oh, Sam. Sam, our WKNC Sam, who's like our boss.
Right.
Came up to me at Springfest last week and said, well, they were like, I just need to tell you something really quick. And I was like, what? They were like, the new episode is heat. And I was like, oh, okay. I hope that's good. And but then when they came up, they were like, I just got to tell Ju something. And I was like, Wait.
I didn't know we were on that level.
I didn't know we were on that level, but it's because the title of the last episode had my name as Jew.
Oh.
And so then I was like, wait, guys, call me Jew. Just call me Jew. That's my name.
Well, that's what you've been telling you.
That is my name, but nobody here uses it.
I use Jew.
That's true, but nobody else does. But
I use it, but the problem is no one else knows what that means. And
yeah,
so then
they think I'm saying Jew, like Jew as in like
Jewish,
right? Which
and then they're like, why are you calling her that?
Right?
I'm like, no, you don't get it.
Jewish, but it's Juish.
Yeah.
Jewish.
Well, the other thing too is a lot of people when I type, because I'll type Jew when I text people, but they think I'm just misspelling you.
Right.
Like
they don't get it.
They think I just put like an extra J.
They don't get it. Oh wait. It says it can do combo names for Kieran and Julia.
Yeah. Kieran, Julia.
Both our names put together. Also, I did receive a selfie from my young gentleman, so I would love to go ahead and take a look at that.
Right.
Kierlia.
Yeah.
Julian. Kijul. Jukier.
Jukier. I need everybody to comment on our next Insta post, Jukier, or some sort of hyphenated name for us.
Wait, can you do more that is our names combined? Let's see what we got. Name mashups. Kierlia. Kajulia. Julikir. Kirjul.
You gotta do the last name. Like
Jukirin.
That sounds like Juki.
Kieran J fused. Kaju. Jukir.
Right.
Kirju.
Have you seen the trend where people incorporate their names into words?
No.
So they're like, I've been doing this on the Gregular as opposed to regular on the Greg. Oh yeah. And they're like, this is absolutely insane. Or like
the way I'm about to start
like
going to town on that.
Ben doing this, like Ben.
Yeah.
And I'm so upset that I can't do this with my name. Like,
what? I'm so sorry.
I saw that. It made me laugh because I was like, I'm about to start saying Gregular. Like, that is so funny to me.
Oh my God, look how cute he is.
Oh, he's perched up.
He's at work.
What does he do?
He's a welder.
Oh.
Well, he's in class as well.
Oh.
But he also has a full-time job. Oh, he's adorable. Wow.
How old is he?
He's 20.
Nice.
No, he's so cute. Anyway, guys, sorry about that.
What time are we at?
51 minutes, so we're like low-key good. Yeah.
Do I have any other?
I've been really into Pinterest lately because I've been back on my crafting grind.
I need to get back on my crafting grind.
My
last notes app that I had in mind is that I think I can do stand-up comedy. I think I'd be good at it. Good at it.
Wow, maybe if you could speak. What is actually going on with you today? You have like
I don't know. I've been stuttering this whole podcast.
But you did before we even started, so it's not like performance anxiety. Which, by the way, I had to get a drug test and I had performance anxiety and I couldn't pee in the cup.
That's the story of my life.
So
I had actually I don't want to share that.
Yeah, I was about to say, wow. I thought you said that was staying between us.
No, that is. Never mind. The second I started to speak, I was like, oh. I really do have this problem where when I get into the moment with someone, or I.
Me when the vibes are set. Me when there's a moment.
When I walk. But no, when I.
Me when I'm with you.
When I'm with you, when I'm not with you. I like.
Yeah.
Nope, I lost it.
And that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
But
anyways, make sure you follow us on the Instagram and DS. Any questions or topics you want to talk about? Follow us on the podcast at TWTS Pod. That is POD Pod. Our individual accounts are linked in the bio of that Instagram account, so make sure to follow each of us. Comment what you liked about the pod, what you want to hear about the pod, like our posts, repost it, make us viral, make us famous, send us PR packages.
Wait, also let us know if you want us to do it over the summer, do it next year too. So.
Oh yes, we want it over the summer. It was planned to not be. Actually, you're gonna be living in Greensboro.
Yes. Yeah. So we really don't know what's going on this summer, so just stay tuned on that. Let us know what you'd like.
Anyhow, we're here to tell you the truth.
Oh, because they don't know, right?
Bye.